in our sweat lodges. They teach us, they heal us, they remind us, they guide us. Sometimes they give us a slap upside the head when we need it. But everything has spirit, and we have ceremonies to access those things. But it's only when we can achieve, or we put out the intent, I should say, that we want to become peaceful. Because it's something, like my brother had said, if something was perfect here on earth, it probably wouldn't be here. We're all here because we're on a journey to become something. So we can live our whole lives, and maybe if any of us are lucky enough to live 100 and whatever many years old, they say that even though when we pass, when we're 100 and so many years old, we're still learning. We're still trying to achieve those things that the Creator put out that we need to try to become. In I guess the realm of peace, we talked about in my tradition, the peacemaker, the man I spoke of before, who was born some 1,500 years ago in the territory I come from. What he did was, those fighting men, he dug a big hole. They said there was a tree. They dug it up. There was a big cavern. He told the fighting men, bring your weapons, put them in that big hole. And they did that. And they were going to bury those weapons of human destruction and pain and suffering. That's what they embodied, all of those weapons. But it wasn't only that he had them bury, not just the weapons. It was the mindset that went with that. He told them, we have ceremonies with what we call sacred tobacco. Each gave that tobacco to each one of those men. And he told them, put that poisonous, that negative mind into that tobacco, and you get rid of that. You put it in that pit with those weapons that are going to harm people. You get that mindset out of yourself, and that's where sweat lodges come in as well, to get rid of negativity, to release that. So anyway, they did that ceremony, and once all of the men had given up that spirit of destruction of other people, they stood that tree back up and they covered all of those weapons. And they say that the leaders of those men who were the fighters, the killers, they were warlords, but the peacemaker made them into peace chiefs. And their duty was to promote peace and non-violence from that day forward. Like I said, about 1,500 years ago to this day, and that's still what we have. That's what they're talking about right now in Oneida Territory near London, Ontario, is how we did that, how we accomplished it. Because we need to be reminded ourselves the dark past that we came from and how we got to be what we call in the light. How we made that journey, and what is it we have to do to stay in the light and not slip back into the darkness. So, you give a Mohawk a microphone, you never know what you're in for. It was one of the things I was teasing. I work in the federal prison system back home in Canada, and I work with Native inmates, and I do sweat lodge ceremonies and teachings and all kinds of things. But that's what I said. One of the things that the peacemaker did was, instead of us being violent, like punch first, ask questions later kind of thing, he gave us the sacred tobacco and gave us words in place of violence. And so that's why Mohawks tend to talk a lot. We used to be very violent people, but now we just talk. So anyway, I guess from my ancestors, I want to greet each and every one of you and your ancestors. They say that when you travel, you never travel alone. Your ancestors are always with you, at least a couple of them, wherever you go. So I also would like to greet and thank the ancestors of this land here. From what I understand, the Mohegans and Algonquin people on this side of the river, the Mohawks, we were on the other side. The ancestors that have been reinterred here, I understand there was Mohegans there, but I think there was others as well. I remember Tom Porter I think he did that reinterment ceremony so many years ago. I remember when that happened. I didn't get to come myself, but so I greet all of those ancestors of this land, and the people who are here today for the purpose that they are here for, which is peace, and a place for us to gather and to share our stories and our traditions and encouragement of each other. So anyway, I'm going to get rid of this because I'll keep talking. Anyway, thank you very much.